Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
So you're involved in underage drinking of minors in a public facility.
I'm sure that they were of age.
I want to hear how your brain thinks when it's not being stupid. The whole purpose behind law is to right wrong. I want justice to be something that isn't this foreign concept.
Justice knows no boundaries. The truth will be heard. Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
Jane Rutgers is suing Billy Thompson in the amount of $1,734.99. Ms. Rutgers claims Mr. Thompson damaged her DJ equipment and sent her to the hospital.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. So you're a DJ.
I am.
And your valued DJ equipment got damaged.
Yes, sir, it did.
And now you want this gentleman to pay you $1,734.99.
Sir, that is correct.
How did your equipment get damaged?
My equipment got damaged, very valuable equipment. You know, I make my living off being a DJ.
And specifically, what was damaged?
One of my speakers and
Yes.
my laptop.
All right. Are you disputing that?
No, they were damaged.
Were they damaged in the course and the scope of her employment with you?
Yes,
Right.
they were.
Why aren't you covering the cost then?
So basically, I'm a party promoter, and so
We've established that.
We're in Texas, and it's
Okay.
It's a heat wave. Like, it's 100 degrees. It's during the summer. You got 100-degree weather
Yes.
with 100% humidity. It is scorching hot. Nobody wants to go outside. And like her, I make my living by promoting parties. That's
Got
how
it.
I make my money.
Yes.
And if nobody wants to go outside and go to a party, then guess what? I don't have any money to make.
All right.
And so I'm driving around. I'm from Texas. I used to go to the skate park, and I drove through the skate park a couple times, and it's abandoned pretty much. Like, nobody goes there anymore. And I think it would be an awesome idea if we can possibly put water into the skate park, because it's like I actually have a picture of it.
Let me see
I'm allowed
that.
to
Yes,
present
I want
that.
to see it. And what, you're going to have some sort of
Thank you very
impromptu
much.
pool party?
Pretty much, yeah. She has a very good social media following. I have slightly good as well. I thought, how about we make
And
this...
it's shaped like a pool.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I would imagine it would hold a lot of water.
Right.
So I see the graffiti. I see people kind of hanging out. Where would the water be coming from?
Well, my
Location.
friend Jerry, his dad owns...
This gentleman here?
Yes.
Sir, come on up. What's your last name, please?
Sigler.
So, Mr. Sigler, you were the water guy.
Yeah, my dad and I usually help each other with his business.
What type of business does your dad have?
He helps people remove water, flood water from their homes.
What's the process that you're using? How far are you from a body of water that are you using? You're not using water from a hydrant or anything, are you?
No.
Okay.
It's basically a trash pump that extends 100 feet towards the river nearby.
Okay, there's a river nearby this location.
Yes. Right.
And you're able to transport that water into this location.
Correct.
And maybe I'm just reading this wrong or looking at it wrong, but one person looks like they have a bottle in their hands in the water, and the water looks a little dirty.
So basically, we got the water from the river. That's why it looks a little dirty. But I mean, when you're having fun at a party, you're not thinking about. You're not thinking about how dirty the water is.
Are you also selling liquor, though?
Yes. So basically,
did you get a license to sell liquor in the skate park? Because I'm thinking that the skate park was probably some sort of governmental.
I mean, it's been abandoned for years now.
That's a no. You didn't get any sort of permit.
Nobody's around there. I mean, I thought it was harmless. It was harmless until what happened.
And are you checking any ID?
Most of them are. I've seen most of them.
So you're involved in underage drinking of minors in a public facility where there could be huge liability issues.
I'm sure that they were of age. I'm sure that they were.
I want to hear how your brain thinks when it's not being stupid. Because you are seemingly are very intelligent. That last statement did not reflect someone who's thinking logically.
Understood.
If you've got this many people out there and you're not checking IDs, and you know if you're a promoter, you're used to working in clubs, right?
Correct.
So you know how this is. You know how this all plays out. You said, okay, I can get away with not having to pay for the permits. I can get away with not being responsible. And then something happens, of course.
Right.
Of course.
The property gets damaged.
Yes.
How did the property get damaged?
So the property was damaged. You know, it's like we said, it's a 100-degree day in Dallas in the middle of the summer. And I brought an assistant with me to
Yes.
take over when I need to take a break because it, again, is very hot out. And I go to take a break, take a dip in the water, and as I'm coming out, I see a fight breaking
I thought
out.
you were working as a DJ.
I was working at a DJ.
Why are you in the water?
Because I was taking a break because it was very hot, just trying to cool down to get back up there for another few-hour set in the blazing heat of Dallas in the summer.
Got it.
So, and that's why I brought an assistant with me to take over and watch everything happening at my DJ booth. And so as I'm coming out of the water, I see a fight breaking out right near my equipment with Billy and another gentleman. And I rush
Wait,
over there.
you're fighting at your party that you're promoting?
I can explain that.
Coming up on America's Court,
If she's doing what she's doing and you can walk away, why are you engaging her in conversation?
Because I couldn't walk away because her boyfriend stepped up, her current boyfriend.
Why couldn't you still walk away?
He pushed me.
and later,
If you see him, I would like you to know you should run. You should steer clear away from him because he drugged 2 of my friends and potentially raped them.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Jane Rutgers, who is suing Billy Thompson for property damage and medical expenses.
You have some explaining to do.
I do, indeed. So basically, she takes a break and her assistant takes over. What you don't know is that her assistant is my ex-girlfriend. That's
Okay.
who she decided to bring to a party that I set up, my ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend and I, we had been dating, for about 2 years. We had a very nasty breakup.
It happens.
Right.
This is business.
It does. It does happen.
What's her name?
Ashley.
Ashley. Ashley was able to do the same job, and the job was to entertain the crowd because you're a promoter and you're a professional, and she was doing the things that she needed to do to promote your event.
Right. This is very correct.
Why are you even having a conversation with Ashley if she's doing her thing and doing
Exactly
it
my
well?
point.
I wasn't trying to have a conversation. I was in the same vicinity because I'm looking over, making sure everybody's having a fun time.
You were doing your job.
I was doing my job.
Ashley was
exactly.
doing her job.
Ashley can be a bit dramatic, and apparently she didn't like that I was there, but she knew I was there because it's my party. She started making conversation with me and being very dramatic, and it ended up getting into an argument.
Well, you can't have an argument by yourself.
No, I know that.
If she's doing what she's doing and you can walk away, why are you engaging her in conversation?
Because I couldn't walk away because her boyfriend stepped up, her current boyfriend.
Why couldn't you still walk away?
He pushed me.
Why would he have to push you unless you did or said something to cause him to react?
We exchanged words.
There we go. That's all I needed to hear. You exchanged words and the words led to something physical.
Correct.
And then what happened?
As I was coming back to rush over to my equipment while I saw the brawl breaking out, I got there too late. My computer was smashed on the ground. It's nearly $1,000, and one of my speakers was smashed as well.
Got it. Why should you not have to pay for that?
Because the situation would have never happened if she did not invite my ex-girlfriend.
Do you have proof that that's what your damages are?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see that. She's in the course and scope of her employment. I don't understand why we're even here.
Thank you. I have medical bills as well.
Give me everything you have.
Why do you have medical bills?
Later that night, I had to rush to the ER and was diagnosed with Giardia from the dirty river water.
So it was like nasty water.
Yes.
It was river water. It's water from a river.
It's water from a river.
And I know at least 10 other people, myself
It's
personally, that
nasty
were
river
sick as
water.
Do you know how many times I go into? Do you know how many times people go into
You're, like,
lakes?
correcting me,
People have
like,
lake,
is it-
people
well,
have lake
no.
houses and go into lakes all the time. So
Right.
right.
But if did you charge them to get in?
No,
Did you
I
charge
did not
them to
charge
get
them
in?
to get in.
Well, then how did you make money off the event?
Because I was charging the people to come in, because we had a keg.
So
and
you charge people that got in water that was infected. I got it. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel comes down in favor of the plaintiff. To be honest, I'm surprised you haven't been sued by other people as You will pay her $1,734.99. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,734.99.
I probably should have walked away from the fight, but in the end, we all had a really great time.
Obviously, I'm pretty pleased with the outcome, but there really wasn't a doubt in my mind it was going to go in my favor.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
He was very drunk, and he was trying to grope and grab every woman that came over to
Your Honor,
him.
I never groped or grabbed anyone.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
James Carver is suing Eliza Berman in the amount of $5,000. Mr. Carver claims the defendant posted lies about him on social media. Ms. Berman claims what she posted about the defendant is true.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor. Third, get up at its office. Mr. Carver, let's talk about this defamation claim that you are asserting against Ms. Berman here.
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
It was New Year's Eve. I had decided to travel down to New Orleans from Baton Rouge, where I'm from, to visit my friend Tony. I had never been down there, and he invited me out for a night of fun. I went down to New Year's Eve. We had had a couple drinks at his house. We then proceeded to a party at the defendant Eliza's house.
How many drinks did you have, sir?
Beforehand, I had had a couple, 2 or 3.
Okay. You had 3 or 4. What were you drinking?
Beer.
Beer. Okay. Miss Berman, had you met Mr. Carver prior to that?
No.
No. And you are the person that was hosting the party that Mr. Carver ended up attending.
Yes.
All right. Tell me about this party.
So basically, I threw a New Year's Eve party. It was supposed to be a few of my close friends.
Did you know Tony?
I know Tony very well.
Tony's someone that you feel very comfortable with.
I really do.
How do you know Tony?
We went to college together.
Did anyone accompany the two of you to the party?
Yes, we had a number of friends. There was a group of us that also went to the party.
Did you all meet at Tony's abode, and then you drove from his place to Miss Berman's place?
Yes, we all met at Tony's, and then we took a taxi over to her house.
You took a taxi over. All right. You had already been drinking prior to leaving your house?
That is correct.
Did you have additional alcohol and or whatever else when you were in New Orleans with Tony prior to getting to the house?
Yes, we had a couple of beverages before Tony, at Tony's house, and then we had a couple more while at the party.
All right. Does Tony have a car?
Yes, we chose not to use it, though.
Why did you choose not to use the car?
Because we all knew that we would be drinking. It was New Year's Eve. We had figured that we'd all probably have too many to drive, and so we just wanted to be safe.
Okay. That's important to me because that shows that there is a thought process of responsibility.
Coming up on America's Court.
If you're not normally that way and you have consumed alcohol based on your own testimony, the alcohol perhaps
Made him a new person.
made him a new person.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
We're back with the case of James Carver, who is suing Eliza Berman for defamation of character.
What was taking place at the party once you arrived there?
Once we arrived, it was a typical party scene. There were a lot of people drinking, talking, music was blasting, and I met an individual who is Kim, a female that I struck a chord with.
I like the way you said that. We struck a chord. And what does that mean to you?
If I'm honest, Judge, I'm not really great with women. I'm usually not an outgoing person. Parties aren't my typical scene.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Whatever you wish.
No, I'm saying if you're not normally that way and you have consumed alcohol based on your own testimony, the alcohol perhaps
Made him a new person.
made him a new person. But that person didn't quite work at your party.
I thought he was going to be a wildflower. I thought that he was going to sit back and probably watch the entire party, but it turns out he was very drunk. And he was trying to grope and grab every woman that came over to him.
Your Honor, I never groped or grabbed anyone. That is absolutely absurd.
I do have Rachel here, and when you get a chance to speak to Rachel,
Who's
Rachel
Rachel?
will say the same thing. Rachel is one of my closest friends.
Step forward, ma'am. Rachel, what's your last name?
Heller.
What did you observe?
When Mr. James first walked in, he was already intoxicated. You can tell he had a couple of drinks. He did try to socialize with a lot of girls. They were all blowing him off. He seemed a little thirsty. He was trying to...
And when you say he seems a little thirsty, not in the sense of being parched with thirst, you're saying being thirsty in terms of
Needing.
Just
Yeah.
needy
Yes.
and
Yes.
grab handling and
Yes.
give me some attention, that sort of thirsty.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it. And you're denying that, but you're also not denying that you had consumed a lot of alcohol. So your memory is possibly not as strong as theirs.
I did not consume nearly the point of alcohol where my memory is faded or
We didn't
blacked
talk
out.
about the amount because everyone's different. And you said you talked to Kim for an hour at least.
Yes.
And then what happened?
The whole vibe of the party turned. Everyone started giving me the evil eye, like I was no longer welcome. People stopped talking to me.
Including Kim?
Kim, I couldn't find her.
She ran to the restroom.
All right. And then the defendant told you to leave. And did you leave?
I did.
But then you took it a step further, other than saying just leave.
I did.
You did what?
I took it upon myself to let the world know if you see him, I would like you to know you should run. You should steer clear away from him because he drugged 2 of my friends and potentially raped them.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. You're watching America's Court with Judge Ross. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You said I'm going to tell everyone that he assaulted some women at my party and he drugged them. Let's talk about the assault. Who was assaulted based on what you observed?
2 of our closest friends.
You saw him assaulting 2 women.
I didn't see him assault anyone, but I did see him try to talk to
You
everyone.
used the term assault. Did you see him assault someone?
I did not see him assault
but
anyone.
but you considered him to be someone who was an assailant based on what other people told you.
Based on what I saw his actions were
But
that
what did
night.
you see him do?
I saw him do things like try to grope women, try to pull them as close as he
So
possibly
you saw
can.
him take a woman and pull her close to him.
Yes.
Who was drugged?
2 of our friends.
All you can tell me is what you saw.
What
did
I-
you see of those 2 women that were drugged, allegedly?
What I saw was vomiting from one, and then she fainted, passed out. She didn't wake up until 2 days later.
2 people at your party, it's New Year's Eve, people are drinking, people are eating. 2 people vomited and passed out. How do we get to they were drugged?
Well, I've been around people that have been drugged, and when you're
Have
drugged,
you
you're
been
not
around
coherent.
people who have been drinking to the point of vomiting and passing out?
I've also been
Yes.
around
All
that
right,
kind.
so how are you distinguishing between people who are drinking, vomiting, and passing out versus people who are drugged, vomiting, and passing out?
It's my party. I know everyone at my party. I know what everyone does at my party. This gentleman
You
came.
don't know what everyone does at your party because you didn't even know him until you met him in that moment.
He was the
what
only
I'm
person
saying
I
to
didn't
you
know.
is, if someone is vomiting and passing out, you don't know what's causing that. Your judgment will be in the amount of $5,000. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $5,000.
I'm a little disappointed in the ruling. I know deep in my heart that this is the guy who drugged both of my friends.
I'm just glad that justice was served, my name was cleared, and hopefully we can move past this whole ordeal.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.